conference. I'll be the presider for this session on Broken Dreams and Living Nightmares, Speaking for Cheap Nature. We'll go in the order that's in the program. Each presenter has 15 minutes, and then we'll take some questions at the end. Our first presenter is Wiwit Boediono. I'm supposed to also remind you or announce that the address is hashtag World-Ecology Conference. Hashtag World-Ecology Conference.
Thank you. I would like to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. So I will present. There you go. I will present the topic on oil palm smallholders in Indonesia, and this is part of my 2B dissertation project. So it's still on work in progress. So the first decade of the 2000, Indonesia is experiencing a significant natural resource export, which of palm oil or oil palm is the leading role in that export boom, where between 2002 to 2012, the growth of the contribution of oil palm varied from 32 to 46%. But the boom is also accompanied by contradictory indicators. One of them is the lower growth rates in manufacturing sector of output, or as well as in employment and in employment. This is the map of Indonesia, and this is Sumatra, and yeah, we have some borders with Malaysia and New Guinea, and this is Australia. So. So output represents a vast economic opportunity for the Indonesian government. It is considered as the main component of its development strategy and as well as the main drivers of people's economy. The preference to oil palm expansion is justified under the principle of the right to development, which is also shared by many governments in Southeast Asia. In his study, McCarthy in 2010, mentioned that his observation on the east coast of Sumatra showed that the shift in government policy from the early 1990s has created the context for agrarian change, where under the neoliberal condition, agrarian differentiation has proceeded rapidly. So the rapid growth of oil palm plantation began in 1990s. From only 120,000 hectares in late 1960s, it grew to about 10 million hectares in 2013, and now, as it will be shown in the next slide, later, it's already grew to 11.9 million in 2016. So Indonesia is the leading oil palm producers, and most of its products exported to India, China, and Europe. And one thing that important to be noticed, that beside the global market, the large proportion of palm oil production is also allocated for domestic market. So this is the growth of palm oil production this is the growth of the production exported to different countries from 1995 to 2004. Major consumers were India, China, and European Union. And this is data in 2015. It's still the same: China, India. To the Europe is Netherlands, Italy, and Spain. So the rapid expansion of oil palm in Indonesia is not happening in Indonesia only. It's also part of the phenomenon in Southeast Asia region. The unprecedented growth of oil palm plantation is caused by the widespread use of palm oil for vegetable cooking oil and other uses, such as animal feed and chemical industry, and as well as the prospect of increasing demand from new biofuel markets in Europe and United States. Of course, this growth, the rapid growth, contributed significant foreign exchange earnings and as well as brought investors to Indonesia. So this is the main countries producing oil palm in the Asia Pacific region, from Thailand to Solomon Island. And this is the oil palm production in 2012, ranging from Indonesia to Peru, as well as in the Middle East, Ghana, in West Africa, where actually the seed coming from. So the characteristic of the Indonesian oil palm production is concentrated in the island of Sumatra, which I already shown. And the thing that we really have to pay attention is that from 1998, the industry has been characterized by a large number of smallholders plantation. So this presentation focuses on the process of incorporating smallholder into the industry, particularly in the island of Sumatra, where the oil palm industry relies heavily on foreign investment, comparative advantage in terms of cheap land and cheap labor, and competitive advantage in terms of government policy and regulation, enabling this rapid growth of oil palm plantation. So the expanding commodity markets for palm oil is opportunity to a substantial number of oil palm smallholders to be incorporated and integrated into globalized oil palm markets. The study of McCarthy in 2010 showed that the terms of their engagement with the oil palm boom can be so disadvantageous. Many local landholders become landless, while a large number of them remain poor. And the study of Potter, 2016, in Sumatra and Kalimantan, the other island which is also producing oil palm. The scheme available for smallholders in terms of land allocation has evolved from favorable to unfavorable, and this will be also shown in the next slide. So the analytical framework for this presentation or part of my study is the argument by Bernstein that one of the globalization feature is the rolling back of the state. And as Akram, Lodai, and Kay mentioned, that current forms of globalization has strengthened the process of concentration, centralization within internationally operated capitalist enterprise, a globalization of capital accumulation, and lesser role for the state. And referring to the argument represented by Patel and Jackson W. Moore, the term capitalism allows us to understand capitalism not just an economic system, but as a way of organizing the relation between humans and the rest of the web of life on Earth. And the last argument that I use as the analytical framework here, that the capitalism argument isn't about blame. It is about identifying the system that has devastated life on this planet. It is about making clear the history of capitalism. So palm oil is considered as flex crops, which means that it has multiple uses. It can be easily and flexibly interchanged, similar to soya, sugarcane, and corn. So it is possible because of the relevant markets and availability of technology. So the thing that we have to also consider that the fresh fruit bunches, which will be shown in later slides, it needs to be processed within 24 to 48 hours. And the oil palm industry or plantation requires significant labor inputs only at particular moments in its cultivation cycle. So, and the oil palm only needed to be harvested twice a month, and it is considered as a rich farmer's crop that requires expensive inputs if it is to be farmed successfully. So this is the fresh fruit bunches from the tree. So, okay, I'll just skip this. So the production cost of palm oil are the lowest compared to other vegetable oiling crops, and it's the largest source of vegetable oil. It is the largest source of vegetable oils, and if the global vegetable oil demand could reach 51 million in 2025, it is considered as highly strategic commodity because its productivity is 4 to 10 times higher compared to other vegetable oil yielding crops. So oil palm plantation, this is how, sorry, can you see that? Is it 2 minutes? Oh, okay.
Fine,
So,
come. It's fine.
oil palm plantation in South Asia operation since the colonial period, and it's planted for the first time in the, I try to pronounce it in Dutch, the Buiten Zara Botanic Gardens in others in Java, in Bogor. So the experimental plots were established in 1860. So the Delhi's plantation belt in the eastern coast of Sumatra was opened in 1866. So I will just, because it's only remaining 4 minutes, so I'll just turn into the main characteristic of the industry. It's the one of the characters of the oil palm in Indonesia is the smallholder plantation. It grew rapidly from only 650,000 hectares in 1995 to more than 4.3 million in 2013. So this is the definition of the oil palm smallholders. Usually they have only like 2 hectares. But with different scheme, they can have more than 3. But now it's mostly they have only 2 hectares. So these are the different scheme. In my title of presentation, it said from 1977 to present because the scheme started in 1977 to involve the smallholders plantation. But as we see here that the ratio of land that allocated to the smallholders as compared to the estate is getting smaller and smaller. So in this case, the estate get 80%, the smallholder only 20%, as compared to the previous one, the estate only get 20% and the smallholder get 80%. So I think I have, so as just one study showed that water studies in Sumatra or Kalimantan suggest that as long as many smallholders continue to possess only 2 hectares, their emergence from rural poverty is unlikely, especially when palm oil prices are low. And these last 2 years, the prices are extremely low. So we'll see at the latest slide. I will show how this low price of palm oil affected our presidential election. Okay. So this is just a graph from national magazine regarding sawit is the term for oil palm. So the growth, and this is 1167 million hectares in 2016, as I mentioned before. So I didn't get the chance to translate that. So concluding remarks. After 1998, the Indonesian state has undergone a transition from a developmentalist to a more neoliberal market-driven model. As McCarthy's studies show that in this transition, the state withdrawn its support for smallholder scheme in large of contemporary Indonesia, while at the same time, the Indonesian oil palm industry is driven by close collaboration between large corporations and the government, showing the continuing important role of the Indonesian state in enabling, which means shaping outcomes by establishing a regulatory framework and providing the institutional context. So the key historical factor in promoting and sustaining the expansion of oil palm has been the doctrinal legacy of eminent domain embedded in the Indonesian forestry and agricultural policy and regulation, including oil palm plantation system. Each mode presents its own distinct opportunities and constraints. Mode which mean the small holder scheme and the independent scheme. So the smallholder scheme and independent scheme is different, but I didn't get to explain maybe later during the Q&A. So the last concluding mark is the oil palm industry will always demand a relatively high labor input with its preference for cheap land and labor. So this is the before and after picture that I took in Merangi. It was like 8 years ago. So this is before and after. And this is already in highland forest. So lowland forests, especially in the province of Jambi, are gone. And as well as the peat swamp forest in the coastal area also gone by the oil palm plantation. And this is in Indonesia, but as you can see, the Joko Widodo is the incumbent and won our last presidential election in April. But this is the region of oil palm, major producer, and they vote for the alternative candidate. And one thing is very interesting, his campaign motto is not MAGA, but MAIGA. Make Indonesia great again. Thank you.
Oh, wow.